what are your responsibilities on getting to bed? So, Dale and I both have kids. I wish it took 5 minutes to get kids ready for bed.
Oh man, I just put them in a sleeper
in
hole.
bed. You just choke them out.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Coaches on Couches.
Being slouches.
That was a good one.
Pretty slouchy.
Yep. So today we are going to talk about. I was toying around with several different names for this one.
But we're trying to keep our PG status.
We're trying to keep PG status, but I kind of coined it the art of the early riser. Yeah.
The art of the early riser.
Or how to get your butt out of bed.
Your assets.
Out of bed.
Out of bed.
A lot of people struggle with getting up early for some reason, especially in this.
I'm a night person.
Yeah.
I'm not a morning person.
Well, you don't get your workouts done at night either, so.
Exactly.
So we're gonna go. We're gonna go through some kind of tips, tricks, methods, pointers on how to. What we're actually trying to do here is develop new habits by changing our routines, and we'll kind of
to get up early because there's far less excuses early.
Yeah.
So if you want to train, you got to get up early. If you're saying you can't get up early, listen in.
I am Coach Dale Sanford.
I am Coach Bryant Funston. We are the co-founders of BPC Performance Coaching, where we specialize in helping time-crunched athletes optimize their busy schedules so they can maximize their athletic performance. Every BPC coach is trained in our 5 pillars coaching system that has been developed over the last decade through our work with athletes of all ages and ability levels, from fresh off the couch to world championship competitors. You can find out more about BPC by going to buildpeakcompete.com, checking us out on Facebook and YouTube at Build Peak Compete, or all up on that Instagram at BPC Performance.
Pretty good. Pretty good. All right.
By the way, for those watching on the video, that stash is waxed,
It's
apparently.
as awesome as it's.
He was over here like prepping it before we started, like twiddling his handlebar mustache over here. Is that what it's called? Is that a handlebar mustache?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Harnessing your inner...
I'm going to go tie a damsel to a railroad track here shortly.
I keep thinking Tombstone, man. He's trying to look at you.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Oh, man.
All right, so a couple of quick announcements before we kind of move on. One, we know hop cycling has already started.
Yep.
But you can still join us on the recording side of things. So literally, if you sign up, go to hopcycling.com. You can sign up and get the recordings, do them in order. We'll actually put we'll still put the training plan on your Training Peaks account, and then you'll just follow the recorded videos one by one.
Yep.
So if you want to
be behind.
Yeah, you'll just be a couple weeks behind. But if you want to do that, you can check it out, hopcycling.com. And so yesterday, other announcement here. Yesterday, we announced our Memphis Ironman Memphis 70.3 training group. Training team group, whatever you want to call it. And so that's going to be available to, it's really geared toward beginners and first timers in the 70.3 category, or triathlon in general. The group is actually going to start January 6th. So we're literally going to take 38 weeks to build. We're going to build toward a mid-May race and then build up again toward the Memphis 70.3. So if you are interested in that group, then you can check that out on our website. It's buildpeakcompete.com/IMMEM.
Yeah, not I am.
No.
Just the letters. I am for Iron Man.
MEM.
Mem.
Yep. So check that out. We'd love to have you in the group. It's going to be awesome.
And if you know someone, maybe you're not doing it yourself, but if you know someone who's, I've been getting a lot of people like, hey, my neighbor just said they're in it, so be on the lookout for bikes or whatever else. It's like, sweet. Awesome.
This event has jazzed a lot of people up. So we're here to help and get you to the finish line.
Yeah,
have
here's to a healthier, more active Memphis.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, topic of the day, but first,
Well, I got a quick. Okay. Whew.
shout out.
Thought you were gonna sneak past
Have
it
we
here.
ever
Thought you were
skipped
gonna.
shout-outs?
No, but I thought you were so excited about the announcements.
Oh, yeah.
Shout outs. CJ Neff over in Bentonville, Arkansas. No sort of endurance scene happening over in those
Nothing.
parts.
It's really just a.
The Waltons they hate cycling.
Yeah.
They hate outdoor activities. Sarcasm being laid on thick there. But CJ, they have what's called the, the Back 40 Trail Run and Ride. So he did it last year, he did it again this year. It's a 2-day stack. You do the same trail. One day you run it, the next day you do it on your mountain bike. Cumulative time for the two, so it's like a stage race. He ended up third in the Back 20. So he did the 20-mile versions of each.
Nice.
And considering he's balancing, he had just gotten a fairly recent new change in work, which put a lot of stress into his life. Kids, and his son was doing swim stuff. So like a lot of his workouts, some of them he was doing them on like the edge of the swim pool.
Yeah.
While his son was doing workouts early in the morning. But he made it happen and had a great result. So chapeau to you,
Early
CJ.
in the morning is key.
Yeah.
Pretty good
Notice
segue.
how I
You like
snuck that in there. Early mornings. Yeah, honestly, he would do one evening workout per week. Everything else was mornings.
Yeah, it's tough. I'll be the first to admit I'm like by nature not a morning person. I know you're the opposite. But I still, to this day, after 10, 12 years of training and coaching early in the morning, still, struggle from time to time just getting up. And so we're going to go through some things that we've come up with that works for us and our athletes over the years on how to just develop this new habit.
And let's be clear. Like if you're someone who is just fine going to work or going through your normal daily requirements and getting a workout in the evening, if that's you, awesome. I mean, that's totally fine. But this is an important topic because there's so many people that want that to happen, but it does not happen. And you get to the end of the week and you've hit one workout.
Yeah.
And the reason for it is life gets in the way. The longer the day goes on, the less motivation there is, and the more life demands pop up. So if you can eliminate that and knock your stuff out early to where you're not now trying to sneak it in, you're going to be much more consistent.
Yeah.
And long term, C word, we said it all the time. Consistency is huge. It's the main key to you reaching your goals or not, is that consistency. Yeah. So get up early, knock it out, and this is how.
Well, and let's face it, as a triathlete, you're going to be doing on a lot of days 2 workouts a day. So if one of those workouts does not happen early in the morning, your odds of getting anything, let alone both workouts in, are greatly diminished.
Yep.
So for all you triathletes out there, listen up. So what we're really, like, I think it's important distinction to kind of tell the difference between a habit and a routine. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a habit, and a habit is something that happens impulsively. It takes very little thought process, and you just kind of do it. All habits have like a clear trigger. So
habit stacking.
Yeah, yeah. So we're trying to create this habit of waking up early that just happens, and it just happens without us having to whine and cry and
So first stage is acceptance.
First stage.
Oh wait, is that the last stage?
So a routine is something that is highly intentional, but it takes effort and thought. It just doesn't happen impulsively. So we have to, nothing just starts as a habit. Our routines are what develop habits. So what we really have to do is change our routines and find those triggers that we can, implement to create this habit of waking up early.
Any questions on that so far? Did anyone comment?
Negative.
No, they said move on.
Yes,
Perfectly.
please.
Perfectly clear.
So changing our routines, we'll break it down between pre-bed, we'll say nighttime pre-bed, and then pre going to sleep, whatever.
Sleep, yes.
Yeah, pre-sleeping.
Evening.
Yeah, and then the morning. So we've got the setup and the execution.
Yep.
So my first thing is getting to bed at a reasonable hour. But the big thing here is you have to know when you want to get up to know when you got to go to bed so that you know you're getting enough sleep.
Yep.
You know, sleep, don't get us wrong. Sleep is important. We got to have it for recovery. We got to have it for just being able to function as a human. But what a lot of people don't realize is that you can go to bed at 10 and still get up at like 5:30 and you still got like 7.5 hours of sleep, which is sufficient for the majority of people out there.
Yep.
So like whatever time you want to get up, count backwards. See what time you need to go to bed.
Yeah, if you're someone who says, I have to have 8 hours of sleep, okay.
Yep.
How long is your typical morning workout during a week? Walk back, or how long does it take to get prepared for that?
Yeah,
and then walk backwards from there and make that like a set in stone bedtime.
Yep.
Like if it's 10 o'clock, make it 10 o'clock every night. Don't go from 10 to having a great time on the weekend, going to midnight or 1, and then other nights, 11:30 and 11.
And we understand, we get that things are going to change from time to time.
No fun
You're going to
allowed.
burn it down every once in a while. But yeah, I mean, during those really important, workout weeks or whatever, you've got to set that standard bedtime and go as far as like, okay, I have to leave the house to get to work at X. It takes me this long to get showered and ready. My normal workout time is this long. It takes me this long to get up and get on to that workout. Okay, what is my wake up time? And then count backwards from there.
Yep,
for bedtime.
Exactly. And then continue that. What are your responsibilities on getting to bed? So, Dale and I both have kids. I wish it took 5 minutes to get kids ready for bed.
Oh man, I just put them in a sleeper
in
hole.
bed. You just choke them out. But somehow my kids can manage to take 45 plus minutes to brush their teeth, put on PJs, and use the bathroom and get in bed. Like, how does that take? How does that take 45 minutes? I'm like, my Lord. So yeah, like work backwards from there too. So what do you have to do to get to bed? And set it on your phone if you need to. Like setting a little alert. Like, hey, time to start getting ready for bed. Let's start.
Yeah, the bed
putting the wheels in motion here.
The bed getting ready reminder.
Yeah, and you'll find like if you do that, it's going to be so much easier. You're not scrambling. The routine's set. You've got a notification for it, and everything's going to go smoother. Because I'm as guilty as the next person. If I don't get to bed at a decent time, the odds of getting up early diminish.
Struggle bus.
Yeah, every 30 minutes you stay up later, the odds of getting up early or trying to push something or
feel in the morning.
Exactly, or saying I'll get it in after the day's over.
Yeah,
doesn't happen.
Yeah. So kind of a next thing is limiting like the amount that you're eating that close to going to bed.
Yeah.
That when digestion really starts kicking in, you got a lot of blood flowing, and so it's a bit harder to fall asleep quickly if you're going on a full stomach.
Yeah, it can be uncomfortable even. Yeah. If you're going to bed with a big heavy stomach, like that's not conducive to being able to get to sleep right away.
We're good in this household because we eat dinner usually around 5:30.
Anyone else this time of year? So this is
I'm starving by the time I go to bed.
Mid-December, in case you're listening to this later on.
Yeah.
Gosh, 4:30 feels like 8:30 now with it getting dark so early. I'm lucky if I make it to 7 now.
So with this, it obviously includes alcohol.
Very important one. Yeah.
The more you drink, later you drink into the evening. Your buddies are saying just one more. That's obviously going to affect what time you go to bed.
Correct.
But it also is going to affect your sleep quality, in general. Quality of sleep.
Quality, yep.
And then there's a good chance you're going to feel like garbage in the morning, dehydrated, feel terrible, and you're just going to say, well, I feel like crap, I'm not going to go work out.
Mm-hmm.
So
not good. Minimize the amount of times that happens.
On the days where you know that the following morning you have a pretty important workout, just dial it back a bit.
Dial it back. Yes. Moderation.
Yeah.
And still maintain your normal bedtime.
Yeah.
So just start it earlier in the day.
Yeah. If you start drinking at 2, you can be done by 6.
That's a joke.
That is.
Got it.
So one other big thing, and this is something that I'm sure you've heard a million times at this point, and that's ditching the screens. Take away the TVs, take away the tablet, the phone. Take it out of the routine, the bedtime routine, and it makes it a whole lot easier to actually get to bed at a reasonable time. Because
if you're doing the death scroll in bed, and then you somehow pop on a good YouTube video, you're like, I did not realize I needed to watch this, and then you do, and then it suggests an even deeper hole to fall down into. Suddenly it's an hour later, and you're like, what am I doing?
You just got to limit yourself to one episode of Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
And then...
So we were talking about this before we started, like, what is Mandalorian?
Honestly, I didn't...
So enlighten these fine people real quick.
It is just, it's the new Star Wars series. It's on Disney+.
I thought it was one of those, like, veggie slicers.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's a Mandalorian.
I'm not even a Star Wars fan, but I just started watching it over, like, when we went to visit family, and my brother was watching it, so I was like, it's where all this whole Baby Yoda thing is coming from.
Gotcha.
You see it everywhere.
If you're on Facebook right now, give us a thumbs up if you like Mandalorian.
Yeah, shoot us a Baby Yoda gif and
give us with the Baby Yoda. But we can work some Yoda in here. The do or do not. There is no try.
Good one.
In dealing with all this stuff.
So we're pulling in the Star Wars fans into the fold here.
Ratings going up.
Ratings
going up as we speak.
So ditch the screen. The bed is for sleeping.
Yes.
Sleeping
only. Only sleep. Yeah, if you have a TV in your room, I would strongly recommend getting that out of your room. You do not need to be up. It's kind of like the U2 holes. I mean, it's the same thing with your phone now. We have TVs on our phone now, but similar thing. Like, if you end up staying up far later because you're doing mindless stuff, it's not going to be good for your overall likelihood of getting up early and knocking out the things that you want to knock out. I mean, if you've listened to us this far in this episode, clearly you want to you have some goals that you want to knock out. So keep that as a focus.
Yeah, fun fact about me that you already know, and I think we share in this, is I have a hobby of searching the web for land and property.
Oh yeah, so do I.
And so if I get on that hole on Zillow or whatever and start doing that, I mean, I can turn around and it's an hour's passed and not even notice. I mean, it's insane. So yeah, get rid of it. Get rid of the screen. Turn the phone off. It'll go into part of another tip we have. They go hand in hand here in a second. But that's a huge one.
Definitely.
We already talked about, like, kind of alluded to, like, making sure you're going to bed at the same time every day, but set that alarm for the same time every day.
Definitely.
It's really hard to create a habit which is impulsive if you're getting up at the different times every single day.
Yeah.
And this, and it does include the weekend. For a lot of people,
as much as possible. Yeah, include the weekend.
I still, like, let myself, like, sleep in. No alarm on Sunday. But Saturday, still get up early because we're going to, end up going and training longer and need to be home earlier anyways.
Yep.
So it's an early rise anyways. So just get used to it. I mean, you're going to...
and recovery weeks are generally good for, like, if you're someone who kind of struggles with this, use your recovery weeks to get that extra sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's really important to you, if it means missing a workout, I mean, that's kind of what unload weeks are for, like getting rid of fatigue. And if you know, it can almost be like your treat, every 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 weeks, if you've got far less requirements. Now, getting back into that routine is going to be tough if you let yourself just go crazy with it.
Yeah.
So don't deviate too far from it. But if you're someone who needs to have a few extra days where you don't set the alarm, go for it on those unload weeks.
It's got to be repetitive, super repetitive. And they say whatever.
It's a habit, right? We talked about habits at the start here.
21 days, repetitive days to create a habit or something like that. I mean, it has to be repetitive for a while before it's actually going to start happening impulsively. And to be honest with you, I haven't been a morning person. I'm not a self-proclaimed morning person, but now I've been doing it so long that I wake up.
I mean, there was a long time you wouldn't talk before 7 a.m., right?
There's a good,
And
chance.
Now you can be social at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sort of.
Progress.
Sort of. I naturally wake up between 5 and 6, even if I don't set an alarm.
Yeah.
So, mission accomplished. One big thing is if you are if you're a big caffeine person, sensitive caffeine, you like to have your afternoon frappuccino macchiato,
Frappuccino mochi,
chai,
double whip, 3 chai,
yeah,
skinny latte.
Yeah, if that's you, knock it off.
Yep, ditch it.
I mean,
noon. Make it a cutoff. Noon at the latest for your double whip mocha chakalaka, boom shakalaka.
Yeah, cut the caffeine.
You don't
around
need caffeine at 4 o'clock.
No.
And if you do, you need to start taking a deeper look at what are your sleep habits. And for a lot of folks, that's just become part of your daily habit, your daily routine is drinking, say, coffee throughout the day.
Let's one thing to put in here is, look, if you're not willing to make any changes, then you really don't care about the result. So stop listening.
Yeah.
Because we're really talking to the people who want to make the change and want the the performance result out of it.
Yeah. But if you're feeling like you need energy at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, your diet may be way off. I mean, you may be doing stuff to your body that is not allowing you to have energy, or you're using it as a crutch. You don't even know that you don't need it.
So one of the big things, and this is if you catch anything, this is it.
Let me get my mitt out.
Know your goals, and especially those of the next day. The workout. If you're planning your training, if you're not planning your training, you're gonna have a hard time getting up early because you're not even gonna know what you're supposed to be doing. Even if you did get up, it's gonna take you longer to get everything set up, and then the quality of that session is gonna be lower anyways. But know what your goals are for the next day. Know the plan. Know everything about what's supposed to happen the next day.
With training and with work, family, all your important areas, have it planned out. Know why you're getting up. Have that to-do list if you're a to-do list kind of person. But having it out there and having it written down and knowing that there's productive stuff that you want to accomplish to move you closer to your goal makes it so much easier to hop out of bed.
For sure.
If you're just sitting there I'm getting up early to get up early and I'm going to figure out what I got to do.
Poor decision.
It's very easy to go, snooze.
Yeah.
I
don't really. Don't. We're gonna. So that was a good segue. I blew it. But so now that we kind of taught you about how to change some routines for getting to bed at a better time and whatnot, we're gonna talk about kind of the morning stuff. We call it the execution of actually getting up early and creating this habit. One of it is just no snooze buttons, man. Don't allow it.
Yeah.
No snoozes.
No snooze.
And that's it.
Because if you do, 1 snooze turns to 2, turns to 3. By the way, does your iPhone, is it a 9-minute snooze?
Yeah. Is that dumb or what?
Can someone tell me why it's 9 minutes? Now I'm having to do math. If I snooze it 3 times, I'm like, that's 27 minutes. What time did I set it for? What time is it now? Anyway, don't hit your snooze.
Yeah, no snoozes at all. It's do or die. If you wanna get up and get it done. So what happens is you snooze, and then you start telling yourself, "Oh well, I have 9 or 10 less minutes, And then if you do it again, you're like, well, I don't even really have time to work out anymore after I get done, or the session's going to be so short that it's not really worth it.
And I will guarantee you, you are not more rested after that 9 minutes.
Nope.
You are not more rested.
Actually, snoozing makes you more tired.
It can,
because it breaks. You go in and out of sleep cycles, and then you wake up, more groggy. So get rid of the snoozes.
And if you're the first, few days of getting up early, if you're not used to it, the first few minutes generally aren't super fun. But once you get out of bed, get some lights turned on. If you have a roommate, I recommend not turning the lights on the roommate that's sleeping at 5 or 4 or whatever a.m. in the morning. But your body wakes up pretty quick. You're probably going to notice you're a little more tired at 2 or 3 in the afternoon as you're kind of getting this new habit going. But normally the mornings you're going to be fine. You're not going to notice an energy decrease. You should wake up feeling pretty darn good.
Yeah.
If you can get through that first couple minutes.
It's like anything. It's going to be painful at first, but you got to kind of push through it.
Band-Aid. Just like a Band-Aid. Rip it off.
So, this is like something I've had to use. Like I had to use like early on, especially when we started coaching people at 5:30 in the morning.
Yep.
Setting my phone alarm across the room, setting the alarm clock across the room, so that when it goes off, you have to physically get out of bed to go turn it off, and you're up anyways.
Already there.
Magic.
Bam.
So I literally had to do that for, a couple months at least to like make sure that I got up, and then it started, becoming more normal, and now it's not a problem.
Yep.
So yeah, throw that thing across the room. No, don't throw it across the room.
Do not
place
throw it
across the room.
And if you think about it, most people, their phone is their alarm.
Yep.
I've read before, some people suggest like don't even have your phone in your room, because if you do, at least have it on silent where you're not getting buzzes or beeps or any sort of notification happening.
Do not disturb that thing.
But if you're also someone who uses your phone as your alarm and you've moved it away from your bed, there's no choice. You can't be scrolling mindlessly because it's not by your bedside. It's not by your hand. So it's away. You still have your alarm. You got to get out of bed to turn it off. And your day started when you leap out of bed.
For sure.
To not snooze it, but to turn it off. And, but yeah, going back to the snooze, don't even and I think we hopefully made this clear, but don't even set it to where there is the snooze option.
I believe you can turn snooze off.
You can turn snooze off.
Yeah.
So don't allow there to be a snooze.
Yeah.
And after the first time of thinking you snoozed it and it not waking you back up again and you've been late for everything, you'd be like, okay, I better not try to snooze this tomorrow.
Scared straight, huh? Yeah.
Exactly.
So one huge thing you can do is finding like a training partner or a group to train with in the morning that is going to hold you accountable, because most of the time if you're a part of a if you're a part of a team or a group or something, you're going to feel like you're kind of letting those people down if you don't show up.
Yep.
Or they're going to text you and berate you so much that you're going to do it anyways.
Where were you this morning?
So or you send you some nice gifts and emojis to let you know how upset they were about you not showing up and bailing on them.
Yep. Peer pressure.
Yeah, it actually
peer pressure
does.
works, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, there's been a lot of time, kind of going back to as early as my high school basketball days. In summertime, there was a lot of times I didn't want to go lift weights and stuff, but there was 3 of us.
Yeah.
And at some points it was just myself and one other. But the days that I didn't feel like working out, they did. The days that they didn't feel like working out, I did. And because of that, we held each other accountable and ended up hitting the vast majority of all our workouts. Whereas we maybe would have, lost 30+% of those if it was just my own personal ambition and desires to do it on a daily basis, day in, day out. So having that group is huge.
Yeah. The next one is really it kind of goes hand in hand with the planning part that we spoke about the night before, but literally print your workout out or print your goals out or something like that, and have that sitting right next to your phone or your alarm. So when you get up, go across the room to turn your alarm off, you now see the workout in your face. You can print those off of Training Peaks or whatever, like print them, put them on there.
Yep.
There's also, what you can also do is sync your like calendar to Training Peaks or to something else. And so when you open your phone, like if it's an iPhone or whatever, it'll like automatically show you the calendar, and then you can just see that stuff, right in front of your face. First thing you see.
And really quick, it can be as easy as just thinking to yourself, I want to get back in bed, but why am I up early? Like, what is your why?
Oh, yeah.
Why did I set my alarm in the first place? There's a reason you set your alarm. And really quick, put yourself, when we talk about this in the House of Pain stuff, when we're later on in an interval where it's starting to suck, not feel good, it's hard, it hurts, you're suffering some, you want it to stop, you want it to be over with. And it's like, in that moment, put yourself at your goal event, your goal race, whatever it is you're training for. You're not going to give up there. You're going to be so happy you did the work now to get to that point. You're going to be much more confident on race day or at that event. Put yourself there. Like, I know not jumping back into bed and instead hitting this workout in 3 months, 6 months, however long it is, I'm going to be super happy I did it. And I won't remember that extra hour of sleep I got. Like, that's not going to make or break you, but hitting those workouts consistently will.
Yeah, the why thing is like a hot, it's, you hear it all the time in inspirational, stuff. But realistically, your why is going to be different than everyone else's. It could be just your health in general. If you've already had health problems, it could be weight. It could, if you're doing this for weight loss, if you're doing it for, to be healthy for your kids or
being a good role model for your kids, for sure.
I mean, if you're just a competitor and you want to beat the pants off everyone, that's all things. But you have to have something to put in your face, even if you just write it down on a card and
that's what I've got. Yeah, I've got mine written on note cards.
Yeah, right, and just have it right there in your face so that you are reminded when your brain's saying, "Hey, you know what? Those blankets are so cozy, and we need some more snuggles with the person that you were sleeping next to." But you know what? I want to beat the pants off everyone.
Exactly.
So I'm going to go get this training session in. I mean, that is like the number one thing you can do to make sure that you get up, to set your brain right in getting up early. Just have it in your face. Don't, keep it there all the time.
For sure. Yeah, there's nothing ahead of that.
I mean, the big thing here, though, is with a habit, there has to be a trigger. That there's something
that starts the
chain.
habit
Super simple.
Yeah.
It starts the chain reaction of that habit actually, being executed. But there has to be something. It could be super simple. It's like Pavlov's dog. Like the bell.
Don't ring a bell, man.
The bell
start
rings.
Salivating over here.
Exactly. You just have to do it enough that.
Like when someone says Taco Bell.
Exactly.
I just start salivating
fresco,
over here.
I'm like, what?
Someone's like, Fresco? Taco Bell? By the way, if you aren't familiar with the Fresco menu or option at Taco Bell, you are missing out.
You go back and see how many times we mentioned Taco Bell. We are by no means sponsored by Taco Bell.
We are not, but we
might as well be.
We should be sponsored by Taco Bell.
So
this nutritional advice coming to you from BPC Performance Coaching.
So, like, the big thing about a trigger is it has to be like easy, has to be something consistent, and it has to be obviously repeatable and repetitive. For some people, it could be as easy as like setting a very specific alarm tone.
Getting louder.
Yeah, crescendo. Yeah. So yeah, whatever gets you going. Like that can set that as your alarm tone, and that if you do it over and over and you execute, wake up, boom. Eventually, as soon as you hear that alarm tone, it's go time. Like it, your body knows it.
I bet there's at least 3 people that just downloaded that ringtone. In fact, I'm going to go do it right now.
I don't think you have to download ringtones anymore, Brian.
You don't? Shows you the last time I downloaded my own ringtone.
So again, the trigger could be looking at your why. If you have it, you see it, you pick up that card and you see, or a picture of your kids or something, that, can, create the trigger to this, for this habit to take off. Like, simplest thing. The why is a big one. It could be as like simple as just saying the same thing to yourself every morning. Your feet hit the floor. You say, it's go time.
It's go time. That's a good one, Dale. Did you spend a lot of time thinking about that one?
I did. That one. Whew. I had to write
If anyone has anything more inspirational than it's go time, post that in the comments too, please.
Wake up and piss excellence.
I was thinking about that one actually.
Yeah. So whatever you say to yourself, you say it, and then bam, you're off. So, but you just have to do it over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
For some people, that trigger is like a token or whatever you want to call it, and you call it an artifact, a trinket, yeah, something, a doodad,
a widget,
which I keep going,
a fidget spinner,
yeah,
no,
something that like you put on or like pick up, it could be like putting on your Garmin, it could be like putting on a very specific hat, or if it's in the morning, you're probably not putting on sunglasses, but.
Future's so bright, man.
You follow me.
Future's so bright. Gotta wear shades.
So, like, yeah, any little, thing that you can, like, you take with you all the time, like, whatever. I mean, it could be anything, but a thing can be your trigger.
Yeah, it just snaps you into that mindset of why you're doing what you're doing. Like, and for a lot of times, like, the make or break is the first couple minutes. The make or break is when that alarm goes off. If you've set yourself up for success the night before, it's going to be really, really increase your chances of getting out of bed when you're supposed to. Yep. So setting up yourself for success the night before, and then what you do immediately once that alarm goes off, how you snap your brain into that positive mindset that I'm going to conquer. I've got stuff to get done. GSD, man. Getting stuff done. I've got stuff to get done. There's a reason for it. I've got my why. But if you can, when that alarm goes off, the sooner you can trigger that, and whatever trigger you need, like Dale was just saying, I recommend a trinket just because it's fun to say. But you just need to snap yourself in those first few minutes into that right mindset, and you're going to be off and running with it.
For sure. I think that's the majority.
Mm-hmm. I'm just impressed we got trinket in there twice.
We snuck it in.
We snuck trinket in.
And doodads.
And doodads.
All right, folks, we appreciate you listening, watching, hanging out. We will catch you guys next time. Have a good Christmas. Adios.